So something we didn't expect actually happened, or maybe some people did expect it. I just don't know when developer notes come out, but we got a massive list of developer notes that came out and actually kind of shook up a little bit of the Genshin community. People were kind of flabbergasted and being like, wow, they're actually making these changes. And really, I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I think it's because Honkai Star Rail did some really good things that players really wanted to see. And that brings me to us talking about the developer notes that have come out. So today we're going to be discussing it, looking over everything, going over some fine details, and seeing how this could be a benefit over anything else, because I don't see anything wrong with these developer notes at all. They look hella crispy. But before we get into that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. Guys, again, I am sponsored by Gamer Subs, a wonderful company full of fantastic people, and it's a gluten-free, keto-friendly energy drink that is so good. Right now I am loving the bloody orange flavor by Kaho. Fantastic. And right now there is a sale where if you actually buy a tub, you get a free waifu cup, which is Space Punk. So make sure to use code Tystra at checkout to get 10% off. But without any further delay and without any more flub ups, let's go ahead, get right into it. So these developer notes came out 7:30 p.m. my time on, the 13th, and I was actually pretty stoked on all this stuff. So first things first, as we go into the developers discussion, the first thing we want to talk about is this. Commissions are getting a massive overhaul. Now let's go ahead and talk about that. Starting from version 4.1, after travelers complete a quest, participate in an event, carry out exploration, and collect materials, travelers will earn encounter points. These points can be exchanged for the same rewards as the daily commissions. Now, the reason why that's so important is because for people who play Honkai Star Rail on a consistent basis like me, that is reminiscent of the Honkai Star Rail system in a sense. And honestly, I'm all for it. This is actually something that really needed to happen. We needed something different with the commissions, because as of right now, doing the, commissions is just kind of meh. You know what I mean? However, I do have some doubts about this. And the only reason why is because what are we going to do about, quests in general? Is it going to be 4 daily quests and that's part of, getting all that stuff? Or are we going to see a lot of these quests go away, which would suck for people like me who actually do like to get the achievements, who do like to get certain things out of the way? I'm sure they have something planned for this as we continue reading. Once travelers reach rank 35 or complete Archon Quest Chapter 2 Act 3, encounter points can be exchanged for rewards. The claim attempts and reward cap for encounter points and daily commissions are shared, and daily claiming attempts can be mixed and matched, i.e. you could claim the encounter points rewards and complete 3 daily commissions and claim those rewards. Okay, so we do have that, but my only question is, I see that it says 3 daily commissions. Does that mean that we're going down from 4 to 3? Very interesting development indeed, but overall I think it's a really good option, because a lot of those daily commissions, to be perfectly honest with y'all, were very lackluster. It was destroy these pillars or little thingies, kill these 6 enemies, stuff like that. So I don't know, I can't wait to see it because I want to see the logistics of it, and I'm pretty stoked on it, but I really hope this doesn't keep people away from getting those achievements that they actually like to get. Now let's go ahead and talk about the next thing, adventurer rank ascensions. Now there's actually going to be a reminder put in from now on, well, I'm guessing in 4.1, where it'll actually tell you if you can ascend your adventurer rank, which is pretty dope. When some travelers first enter Teyvat, they may not notice that the adventurer rank ascension quest, which prevents them from continuing to level up. In later versions, if travelers' adventure rank reaches a certain limit, the ascension prompt will appear at the Paimon menu, which is awesome. I think that's a wonderful addition because of the fact that, yes, some of these players have no idea. They get stuck and they're like, well, how do I level up more? Well, you can't, because you have no idea that you have to do a quest for it. So, but what's really cool is the next thing, because we are getting some adjustments to the challenge stages in those ascension quests. Considering that travelers spend a relatively long time in the challenge stage and is too time consuming to retry the challenge, we have simplified the challenge flow. After this simplification, travelers will be able to reach the final challenge faster. And I will say, those Ascension challenges were really long for no reason. So that's a plus. In addition, since new travelers will encounter some strong opponents in these challenges for the first time, they may not be able to complete the challenges due to unfamiliarity with the opponent's mechanics. Thus, we have removed such strong opponents. Once characters, weapons, and artifacts have been sufficiently upgraded, travelers will be able to complete the challenge, which means Ascension quests have become easier. You're welcome. Back in my day, I had to struggle for an hour because I didn't know how to build characters back then, and I had to sit there and cry myself to sleep knowing that I couldn't complete this Ascension quest. You're welcome. God, it's harder back in my day. But no, like, honestly, this is a good thing. I think that honestly the Ascension quest did turn away a lot of players as well, because again, it's their first challenging content, and it's because like, oh, you need to level up. And honestly, you could just get over it, suck it up, Buttercup, and do the challenge and get good. But I don't think this is a bad thing for them to do, to be honest. Maybe I'm just a Hoyo writer, I don't know. Adjusted rewards and conditions for unlocking M battle. The adventurer rank requirement has been lowered from 20 to 16, which is a very nice thing, allowing travelers to begin the quest and receive the rewards earlier. Weapon Ascension materials and other enhancement materials have been added to the rewards, as we hope to meet the needs of all players in early stages and better help them. Now, this is a step in the right direction for me. The reason being is because of those Weapon Ascension rewards. I do think that they need to add more rewards to certain quests. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we have a bunch of weapons, but we can't ascend them all because we're constantly having to get those Mystic Enhancement ores. Maybe add some more of those. I don't think that it's a stretch to be like, hey, getting 30 a day doesn't help. It really doesn't help that much. But I think this is a step in the right direction. Now, what's really cool is that we have a thoughts on the future, which talks about a lot of stuff, and a lot of people were getting crazy with it. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing, when will one-click expeditions be available? Now, if you don't know, in Honkai Star Rail, they actually do this in a sense where you click, it says expedition done, you can click again, and it has you dispatch them again, which is pretty dope. It's really easy. Related features are already under development, and we will be simplifying the operations of expeditions, forging, and cooking to make it easier for travelers to get the rewards and dispatch expeditions. Now, I honestly don't think that cooking is that bad. It doesn't need to be that much excuse me. It doesn't need to be that much more simple. It's boring, yes, but it's just making sure that you click it in the right part of the thing to master it. It's whatever to me. In regards to forging and expeditions, I hope that means that the time frame for forging gets lowered, because I think that forging timing in general is kind of dumb. I hate having to sit there to wait. There's no reason for me to wait 5 minutes for me to get 5 enhancement ores. There's really no need for it. So hopefully that's what it means. But when it comes to expeditions, I think that expeditions could be done a lot better. I think that if you have the same character, just like in Honkai Star Rail, every single time, you should just be able to upload it right there. It's not that difficult to do. You've done it in Honkai Star Rail. I digress. The next question. There are too many enemies listed in the Adventurer Handbook, which I absolutely agree. There's too many now. We have too many enemies. Finding a specific enemy in there takes a long time every time I'm farming for materials. Not really a question, more of a statement, but... And sorry, this is like almost 5 a.m. for me as I'm recording this, so my apologies. First things first, to improve travelers' experience in fighting enemies and obtaining the materials needed to level up, we are going to make some tweaks to the way enemies work. This display of enemies will be adjusted to make it easier for you to locate. I'm really excited to find out how that's going to work, but they don't really give too many details. Additionally, after tracking the enemy and reopening the page, your previous choice will be retained, and you won't have to go through the entire list again. You'll also be able to click boss icons on the map to view their respawn times. I think that's perfect because I'm tired of going through the adventure handbook to see when a boss is going to respawn. That is easily the best part of that, because when you're farming bosses like I do and you're constantly refreshing your resume and being like, God, this is taking forever, that's the ultimate thing. I think honestly what they should do is get rid of the timer in general. Let me just farm the boss over and over and over and over and over again, like how Honkai Star Rail does. I keep saying like Honkai Star Rail, but honestly, like, they did a lot of really good things when it comes to the interface, so it makes sense. And lastly, enhancing artifacts requires a lot of clicks. Is it possible to add more boxes? Now, I'm gonna say this, and this isn't to be mean to anybody, but if you're complaining about how many clicks you have to do in general, I'm sorry. but it's understandable. I will say that because we just talked about this with expeditions and making it a lot simpler. So they did come up with a way to do that. Now, I actually did like this. I read through this and I was like, wow. Similar to enemies optimization, or that. Let me try that again. Similar to enemies optimization, we want to optimize the enhancement experience by simplifying operations. The number of materials that can be added to enhance artifacts and weapons will be increased, and the smart add feature for artifact enhancement will be developed to enable rapid enhancement of levels 4, 8, 12, and 16. Now, I think they should include 20, because 20 is part of it. You want to max out your artifacts. But I digress. I guess I'm just a crazy one. As for character leveling, EXP materials will be able to be auto added, and the level up and ascend pages will be merged. That is awesome. And the reason why I say that is because, yeah, it doesn't take that long to ascend your characters, but you know, take for example, let's look at Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Like I used to be a Dokkan Battle creator. It's a long story. I digress. But in Dokkan Battle, when you do an Easy A or Extreme Z Awakening, you actually have an auto button to go all the way to 7 awakenings. If this is going to be something like that, I think that's wonderful. I think that's a great idea. The only issue is that for people like me who want to make sure that they balance out whatever books they use, that could be the problem. But overall, it sounds like a great thing. When travelers level up their characters to the upper limit or of their current level, they will be able to ascend the characters directly without having to open the ascend page. I should have just read. That eased my tension. So instead, you could literally just keep leveling up your character. And I think that is awesome. That's great. I think that's a wonderful idea, to be perfectly honest. Even Honkai Star Rail doesn't do that. So that's really cool. Overall, this developer notes came off really, really good. There's so many things that are covered in here that I didn't think that we would ever actually cover. And I think that Genshin right now is in a state where they realized what they did amazingly with Honkai. And now they're in the process of like, there's so many gacha games coming out right now that are coming for us. What can we do to make Genshin be the top as always? Because Genshin makes a lot of money, guys. But let's not deny it. Genshin's not dying. People will probably be like, oh, Tystra, you're copium. But it's the truth. Genshin is not even close to dying. They make multiple millions every month, in the double-digit millions. There's no way they're dying anytime soon. But I think that with enough ingenuity on their end, they can continue to evolve with the tide. They can continue to evolve with the times. And I think that that's what they're in right now. They're finally seeing, like, they can't say in the cookie cutter ways. There's some things that they have to change, and I'm all for it. Hoyoverse, I hope that you actually keep to this, because if you do, this is going to be a fantastic ride and Genshin will get better. Now, let's just make sure that the anniversary is a lot better than the last 2 years, huh? And that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about these developer notes. I think that these are great. They're great additions, and I can't wait to see how they're actually implemented. So definitely let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you all to death. And as always, we'll catch you all in the next video. Please take care and be safe.